With respect to personal services that he provided to me and my family, we obviously paid for those services and did so because during a period of time we continued to need his technical assistance, and I think that's in the public record.
That, of course, was Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton speaking at a campaign stop in New Hampshire over the weekend about Clinton family IT specialist Brian Pagliano. That same morning, campaign spokesman Nick Merrill took to Twitter with the following statement. Brian was hired by the Clinton family as a consultant in order to help out periodically with the management of the system in Chappaqua, that hosted the family's emails. Now, while many believe that Mrs. Clinton has been guilty of changing her story throughout this email scandal, she has continuously maintained that she did not knowingly send nor receive any classified material through her personal email account. Mrs. Clinton has also stated confidently that the ongoing investigation would prove this to be the case. However, a report out yesterday from the New York Times states that both the Central Intelligence Agency and the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency have determined that 2 emails received on then-Secretary Clinton's private server, one in 2009 and one in 2011, were in fact top secret communications. Now, should the New York Times piece turn out to be accurate, and there were at least 2 highly classified emails on her server, Heather Hansen, what is the next step for the Clinton campaign?
What are they going to do, or what should they do? I think that she will just continue to ignore it and pretend it's not an issue and say that it's not an issue, and I don't think that's what she should be doing. I think she should give somebody an interview better than what she gave Andrea Mitchell and actually sit down and answer some of these questions and explain why she did what she did, because I think there's a lot of people who just don't care, but they want to hear from her mouth what exactly happened.
Well, Brad, the latest polls that I saw today show that her support is now softening among Democrats. And you know what? We're laughing about that, but last week it was as high as 80% still among Democrats. Correct. But now it's actually starting to soften, and a lot of that softening has to do with the perception that Joe Biden might come in.
I think that's a piece of it. Let's be clear. She gave that talk in New Hampshire, where Bernie Sanders is now ahead of her in the polls. I mean, it's falling apart around her for these reasons. And I know she'll try and split the difference. Top secret isn't the same as classified. When I said classified, it wasn't top secret. I've got Kirby from the State Department saying, you know, different organizations classify things in different ways. All of it's true, and none of it matters. She has made a career of making distinctions without a difference, and I think the voting public is tired of it.
Joe, what do you think about this? I mean, basically, we know that most Democrats, and that's who we think about right now because we're going into primaries, don't really want to focus on this email thing. Most of them. Can she get past this? Can she still win the primary season?
They don't want to focus on it because they see her as a vessel to power. Right. They don't support Hillary Clinton. They support her because she has the best chance of winning. For now, all that said, I want this question asked. Do you think that your server was hacked? So we can hear this answer. By what? Like a machete? You know, it's the same thing as the claw thing.
You know, I would normally give you a hard time about that, but given her answer to the cleaning,
was it wiped?
I'm going to leave you alone.
That was her
that.
worst moment.
I'm
Absolutely.
Leave you,
that was
pretty
just,
bad.
come on, you know what it means.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, meanwhile, a spokesman for the State Department claims that the 2 emails in question were circulated on the unclassified system and as such were not marked as classified at the time Mrs. Clinton would have received them. This suggests that they were classified after the fact. Again, will this take her off the hook? I'm going to ask all of you because this has come up frequently, whether or not it was classified at the time, and then some are going to say even if it wasn't stamped, she still knew what was in the materials.
I think legally it makes a huge difference because it's whether she knowingly was exchanging emails that were classified. And I think she has a strong argument legally that she didn't knowingly do so. But for her election, for the public, she needs to be more trustworthy. She needs to come out and speak to the issues. She needs to not talk about wiping it down with a rag, but rather really address the issues.
See, Brad, I think Heather's got that exactly right. And the reason I say that, I don't think she'd be off the hook if something were clearly classified data, even though it wasn't marked. But we do know that this game goes on between agencies, where some say the State Department says this shouldn't be classified, somebody else says it does, so it's pretty hard to hold her to a criminal standard.
Correct, I think that's right. But electorally, I think this is the stuff that really could take her down, and I think whether it's not
But what
legally
if
as a case,
Democrats don't
I
care
think this
enough?
is the stuff indictments are made of. And I think the bottom line is, whether there's a conviction or not, if she gets indicted, I don't imagine this campaign going forward.
Well, but are indictments made of this? If Heather's right, then no, there shouldn't be
To
indictments.
quote the old
made of
adage,
it.
you can
True?
indict a ham sandwich.
You can, but given
Not if
the
everybody else is a ham
administration,
sandwich,
yeah,
too.
it's
bunch of ham
unlikely.
sandwiches?
If you're the
Today-
least popular ham sandwich, you can.
New York Times
last word.
report. New York Times report says that now her aides are saying that she's going to be more humorous, more humble.
Yes, this
it
is
is
the
so
relaunch.
ridiculous that they have to declare what she's going
I know,
to be
that's
like this week in terms of personality.
Problematic.
End it.
Okay, let me ask you, can Hillary Clinton ever recover from this latest revelation about her email server? Let us know at newsmaxtv.com/comments. Coming up next, we're going to read some of the comments you've already given us. Stay with us.